tax season sale at Right Drive is happening now. We've got over 100.
Alex, how are you? What you up to tonight? What's up, Tom's Food Factory? How are you guys? Joe's Barbecue House. How are you? CMB Sports. What's going on? I think that's the first time I've seen you before. Thanks for joining us. Working on a very late dinner. Yeah, I just finished cooking some spatchcock chickens, and I just had pieces of them. Piece of the breast. Waiting for my wife and daughter to get home. Alex, my crawl was good. My crawl was really good. Really happy with it. What's going on, Chris? Proud Souls Barbecue, my man. Pinot Noir flowing. Nice. JJ Rodriguez, how are you, my friend? Hey, Chef Johnny, how are you, buddy? Yeah, those chickens. Man, I'm trying that new rub from Victory Lane Barbecue, that smoking chicken. Holy cow, man. Whoo! Let me see. Chris, Viva la Booey. Alex, I did not make it to 2M Smokehouse, buddy. I actually went to a place called the Smoke Shack, and the barbecue was pretty good. I just wanted to try a local spot. You know, I know 2M is local, but I don't think that the Smokehouse is as popular. So I wanted to kind of try one that had some popularity, but not over popular. But it was packed, and the food was pretty good. Let me see. Love the chicken cooked outside. Yeah, it's like chicken was made for that. Yeah. You know, with the fat rendering off the chicken and it hitting the hot deflector plate and that smoke coming back and hitting that chicken, even if you're cooking on a drum, man, there's nothing better. Better than the 180 chicken, Chris? I don't know. There was no sauce on this chicken. It's just a good backyard chicken, like backyard barbecue chicken. Hey, Lori, there's my sister, Lorraine Collins. Hello, Devira and Mark. Oh, Vet, how are you, my friend? Have I ever been to Potties and Pecos? Love that place. No, I haven't. I'm gonna have to look up that place because Pecos isn't that far from me. Let me see. Have you ever? Let me see. Sounds cool, man. When are you going to make some drum cooks? I know, Alex. I haven't cooked on my drum for a while, man. I'm kind of missing it. You know, I need to clean them. That's probably why I haven't used them. Hey, Joe's Barbecue House, man. Appreciate the $10 super chat, buddy. I appreciate you, man. You know, guys, check out Joe's Barbecue House. That guy does some amazing cooks on his Weber Smoky Mountains, I think they are. Man, I'm drawn to his channel, guys, because he's just such an amazing cook, guys, and it takes talent to. I know, Joe, you're probably going to say it doesn't take talent, but man, what you do on your Smoky Mountains and the attachments that you put on there and the amount of food that you put in there, that takes talent, my friend. Good job. Love your channel, man. I really do love your channel. And you have a cool name, too. Brother Thyron, how are you, my friend? Thanks for joining us tonight. We need to sip on those bottles behind you. Well, come on down, buddy. Greg Velasquez, how are you, man? Did you get your shirt from Chris? Are you back home yet? Jacqueline and Dad, how are you? Could you teach me how to smoke one day, Mark? Yes, Mark. You need to come over and spend a whole week at my house, and I will show you how to smoke. That's my godson, Mad Dog. When your brisket is done, do you open the foil and let the steam out and let it rest, or do you not open let it rest? Jason, that's a really good question. I used to use foil, but now I'm using butcher paper. But even on butcher paper, because the butcher paper, the liquid doesn't penetrate the butcher paper. Okay, so even when I wrap in butcher paper and the cook is done, same with foil, burp it, open it up, and let that excessive steam come out because your temperature will continue to increase. Even if you burp it, it will come up. If you don't burp it, that steam stays trapped in there, and chances are you're not going to get slices. You're just going to get shredded brisket. Not all the time, but go ahead and burp it for about 10 minutes. Cover it up, let it rest. You can put it in a camber or a cooler. You don't need to necessarily wrap it in a towel. You can if you want, but just put it in a cooler and let it rest for at least an hour. Nothing less than an hour. I let my briskets rest for 2 hours before I slice into them. That's a great question, by the way. Joe, you're very welcome. Delana Bircham, welcome. Proud Souls, how do you donate? Uh, Chris, you've got to hit a $ where you chat, where you enter the chat. If you don't have a $, I think you have to enter your credit card information, and then you can kind of donate money that way. But the guys, that money does help. Believe it or not, I know that YouTube takes a little bit of it, but it does help because these cooks are. Yeah, we get to have dinner out of it, and we all got to eat dinner and stuff. But that stuff gets costly, and those small donations or any donation really helps with that. And I'm not asking for anybody to do that. I mean, we all got to eat dinner. We still got to eat dinner, but it helps with these cooks. Smoking. Who was it? Joe's Barbecue House bought the 2 spatchcock chickens that's the way I look at it. He bought the 2 spatchcock chickens that I cooked on my channel tonight. Actually, I'm uploading the video as we speak, and that should be up. Let me see, what time is it here? Almost 9 o'clock. Is that right? Yeah, almost 9 o'clock here. So it should be fully loaded by 11 o'clock or so. Alex, I watched one of your videos from a while back, the fat side up versus fat side down. You preferred them fat side up. Do you still cook them that way currently? Alex, it all depends on which cooker I'm going to cook that in. If I'm smoking a brisket on my El Rey, again, the firebox is on the side and the heat comes over the brisket. So because the majority of the heat is on the top, I will cook that fat side up. If your smoker, if the heat comes from the bottom excessively, then you want to cook it fat side down. That way you don't burn that precious meat on a brisket. But I've been wanting to cook a brisket fat side up in a drum, just to kind of see if that's going to work out. But again, the drum, the majority of the heat is on the bottom. I'm going to have to put my deflector plate, maybe even foil half of that deflector plate, or the diffuser plate, whatever they call it, and do it fat side up. That way the heat's not as intense on the bottom of the brisket. But I'd like to cook fat side up on my drum because, again, on the drum, the heat's on the bottom, but the heat does come out on the top, especially if I put my exhaust on the top side, maybe cover half of the deflector plate with foil and put the exhaust where I'm going to set my brisket on that side. That way the hot air is forced to go over the brisket and out the exhaust. But I want to do a fat side up on the drum just to try it out, and I think it'll work. Great question, by the way. The wife loves Captain Morgan. Don't see Jack behind you, but I'm sure I could find something. Yeah, I'm not a Jack fan. I'm more of a Crown Royal kind of guy. The Canadian whiskey instead of the Tennessee, I think, right? But Captain Morgan is delicious, man. I used to drink Captain Morgan, Captain and Cokes all the time, guys. That stuff, man, I got some stories. What's your favorite barbecue here in Austin? Greg, man, you know what, brother? That Valentina's Tex-Mex. Holy smokes. That was really good. You know, obviously being Hispanic, the Valentinas, they oh man, just the twist that he puts on his food, dude. You know, I ordered a brisket and some ribs and some pulled pork, and they have tortillas on the side, and I ordered some nachos, some queso. So I had the tortilla and I got my slice of brisket. I put some, I think it was onions and some of that queso in the tortilla. I made myself a little taco. Man, dude, that Valentina's. And then the owner, Miguel, was a super nice guy, and that made the experience that much better. I'm actually going to load his video tonight too, guys, so you guys can see that tomorrow. That Valentina's, man. I don't want to say the other places weren't good because all of them had really good barbecue, but that Valentina's, man, he's got it going on for sure. All right, let me catch up on some questions here. My favorite, absolute favorite brisket rub combo, Jason. Um, so the last few briskets that I've done the garlic jalapeno seasonal. Oops, hang on. Let me snooze this. The garlic jalapeno seasonal from Victory Lane, the beef rub from Victory Lane, and then put a little bit more pepper on top of that. Man, that is spot on. On a prime brisket, no injection needed. I get a nice, healthy bark on that, nice dark bark, and the brisket just comes out freaking amazing. Um, there's also, I mean, there's all sorts of rubs, but that's one of my favorites, guys. The garlic jalapeno, the beef rub from Victory Lane, and then top that with a little bit more pepper, some coarse ground pepper. Man, you can't go wrong with that. Pratzos, don't do it. LOL. Chris, you must be talking about the brisket. Dude, I think I can get away with it, man. If I put the exhaust on top of the brisket, foil half of that deflector plate, like I said, maybe 3/4 of it. That way the smoke kind of comes around and out the exhaust. I'm going to do it. I'm not going to do it with that Wagyu Gold that I have in my freezer, but I think I'm going to do it with the prime brisket. Let me see. I'm doing fine. Ba-ba-ba-bum. I could suffer with crown if I must. Big hell. Let me see. Andre, you have a YS640. Man, I love that smoker. That's a good smoker, man. That's a very versatile smoker. You can bake with it. You could smoke with it. You can do a lot of stuff with it. It's such an awesome smoker. Dwayne. Dwayne, I'm not going to butcher your last name. I'm just going to call you Dwayne. Welcome, my friend. Yeah, it's one of my favorite places. Beats Franklin's. You try some Crown Apple and Crown Mango. Ooh, I'm going to have to try that. Either somebody's breaking in my house or my wife is home. Oh, yeah, it's my wife and daughter. Hi, baby. Ba-ba-ba-bum. Joe's Barbecue House. I've never used butcher paper, but could you please explain the difference between the two? I'm guessing the bark will turn out better with the butcher paper. Yes, Joe. The reason I use butcher paper is because it helps preserve that bark. It doesn't have that steaming effect that foil paper does. When you wrap with foil, the steam has really nowhere to escape. It's kind of encased in there. And if you do use foil, there's nothing wrong with it. Just make sure it's super tight. Um, oops. What happened here? Make sure your foil is super tight. When you use butcher paper, the steam, I think, doesn't stay in there in the paper. It kind of comes out a little bit, and it preserves your bark. I've done it both ways, and butcher paper is the way to go. You can have a nice bark going in using foil paper. Once you wrap it, it might just kind of dissolve that bark that you work so hard to get. So if you get that nice dark bark, and I don't wrap to temperature. I think Chef Johnny was talking about that on his live chat the other night. I don't wrap to temperature, guys. I wrap when I think I got that nice dark bark that I want. And at that point, I'll take a temperature reading, but I may not even wrap it. But in the majority of the cases I will wrap, but I don't wrap until I get that nice crusty bark on the outside. And I do not spritz until I get that bark because I don't want to lose it. Let me see. Let me catch up on some chat here. But that's a great question, Joe. Smoking Joe's Pit Barbecue, Victory Lane guy. Yeah, that's me. Oh, so Chef Johnny, you're saying don't cook the fat side up on my drum either? I'm gonna do it. Okay, yeah, Chris, Jerry ran butcher paper up in Redoso. I obviously used foil. First place. Savage. You're a savage, dude. How do you feel about making a video with the neighbors outside hearing you? Um, it doesn't bother me. You know, it used to bother me. In fact, I had my buddy Jerry here today and I was recording with him here. I've never recorded in front of him. You know, when I first started my channel, guys, I used to be shy around my wife recording for some reason. But I mean, I'm just recording, you know, and I think the majority of my neighbors know what I do. Um, and so I don't think they mind. I hope they don't mind anyway. I'm not too loud, and I use a microphone when I'm outside, but when I'm inside, I use the mic on my camera. I just put an external mic on that. Chef Johnny has a real good brisket rub. Really? Chef Johnny, you do? Hey, Mike Montoya. Appreciate you, man. Appreciate the $20 super chat. You are the man. You know, check out Mike Montoya and his channel. He does a lot of good stuff. In fact, his son got involved with a cook that he did last, and that's awesome. I think that you should cook with your family. And it was kind of nice to see Mike, little Mike or Mike Jr., cooking with Mike Montoya. You know, that's how they start, man. They get bit by the bug, just as we did at some point in our lives, and you know, start them young, I guess. But good job, Mike. I appreciate that, man. Appreciate that. When you use the butter bath on the ribs, the juice is cold or room temperature? Room temperature. I try to do everything at room temperature, whether it's beef broth or pineapple juice. Do it all at room temperature because you're cooking your food, and that's a great question, by the way, because you're cooking your food and your food's hot. If you put cold, I mean, it's room temperature, which is still cold compared to the meat that you're going to put it on, but I don't warm it up. It's just not ice cold. Great question. That's what I thought. Thank you. Yeah, Joe. You know, there's plenty of videos out there that people do the butcher paper versus foil paper, and I might do that. You know, just so that you guys can see that, and it'll help me kind of. But I've cooked so many briskets, guys, that I know that. So I know that I will lose my bark if I use foil. In competition, that might be different, guys, because again, foil, they call it the, man, I got a hair in my mouth or something. They call it the Texas crutch. That means that if the crutch, obviously you use it to kind of help you, you lean on it. And what the foil paper does, if you're sitting at 165 and you're trying to get to 200 degrees and you got family coming over and your brisket's still in the stall, and Chef Johnny talked about the stall in his chat, man, wrap that thing in foil and crank the heat up a little bit. Just get it away from the firebox if you're using a firebox, and you will get to 200 degrees faster if you wrap it in foil. If you're in a hurry, don't use butcher paper. If you're in a hurry, wrap it in foil because your family wants to eat. Let me see here. Hit that thumbs up. Yeah, Joe, appreciate that, man. Yes, she does, Chris. Next time you're down, I take you to Barbecue Crawl in Lockhart, Texas. Nice, Greg. You know, I saw Lockhart, Texas. I wasn't too far from there. In fact, we were driving around. I kept seeing the signs to Lockhart. I think I know way around Austin pretty good. In San Antonio, I know my way around there pretty good. I used to live there a long time ago. Jose Guerrero, hello. Jimmy Johnson, good evening. Dill's Barbecue House, please do that. That would be an awesome video. I think I'll do that. You know, I think I got 2 prime briskets in my freezer. I think I might do that here pretty soon. You guys want me to cook that on my pellet smoker, or you guys want me to cook that on the big El Rey? After the foil, you need to set it back on the pit to dry the bark. That's a good theory too, Chef Johnny, and that actually might work. Because what I've had happen with foil, guys, is the bark turns like cakey. But like Chef Johnny says, if you set that back in your smoker, I think that cake will evaporate and create that crust again. See, you were with Stephen Rossler of Blue Cord Barbecue in the Fort Hood. Yes, Jimmy Johnson. You know, that was a treat in itself, man. I got a lot of respect for people in the military, guys. A ton of respect for people in the military, okay? Old vet, my man. Um, Chris from Proud Souls Barbecue, guys. He's a military vet as well. I think he was a master gunnery sergeant. Is that right, Chris? That means that he was driving that mad machine that the military uses to blow stuff up. Um, so um, I was at Evie Mae's barbecue and I went to go get my family or check on my family, and then I came back out to talk to Nathan and there's Steven. Like I'm looking at Steven and I follow him on Instagram and I was like, Steven, what's up, man? And I introduced myself and he goes, oh yeah, I've seen your stuff on Instagram. And I gave him a shirt and we took some pictures together, got to chat a little bit. But he was out visiting some family. I think it was somebody's like 90th, 80th or 90th birthday or something, which is something to celebrate. Steven's an awesome guy, by the way. I'm not sure if you know him personally, but he's a solid guy, solid guy. All right, so you want me to do it on my El Rey? Not on the pellet smoker. I'm with you, Joe. If you had only one pit in your arsenal, which one would it be? Oh my God, Jose. Ah, only one smoker. If I had to get rid of everything that I had, but keep one? Probably my El Rey. You know my El Rey. Even though it's more work, just to fire that. I mean, it's not. To me, I love that, guys. It's a passion for me of cooking barbecue. If you haven't noticed by now, I love barbecuing, man. I love being outside next to the pit and listen to the machine come up to temperature and the food that it produces. Um, just the quality of food that comes out of there is nice. Um, but the Yoder's nice too, man. The Yoder, guys, that Yoder, like these spatchcock chickens that I have. I cooked them at 225 degrees for about an hour. And 225, that Yoder produces smoke that you won't believe, man. It's amazing. So, but if I had to pick one of the ones I had, my El Rey, for sure. Let me see. After you foil, okay, proud souls. We aren't YouTubers yet. We're just swamped in business. Be patient. Jimmy Johnson, see you or Steven? Yes, sir. Hey, big Thyron. Appreciate the super chat, man. I appreciate you, brother. Big T, hey man, we're gonna do them chicken wings or what, brother? We gotta knock that out. So somebody sell El Rey, not the pellet. I think I already read those. Oh yeah, El Rey or my drum. Jason Santora. So when you wrap in butcher paper, you don't pour any liquid in. Jason, I like to. Cosmos Q has a brisket mop. I'd mix that with some beef broth, and I put it on top of the brisket. I don't saturate it like if it was in foil, but I do put some on the top and then wrap it. That liquid will not penetrate that butcher paper. Now, if you make a mess like I did on my last video on my kitchen counter, I spilled it. I put too much in it. But that liquid will not penetrate. In fact, when I burp my butcher paper and I cover it back up and I put it inside of my Cambro, there's a ton of liquid that's inside that butcher paper. It will not penetrate it. Just make sure that you seal it up nice and tight. So Cosmos Q brisket mop, man, or just some beef broth. But that Cosmos Q is amazing stuff. Okay, Jimmy Johnson, did you get a chance to see Moberg Smokers? No, I didn't. Is he out there? Jacqueline said my El Rey bark gets soft and moist, so just dry it out. Chef Johnny makes sense. Barbecue Freak Show, just say no foil. Just say no to foil. I'm with you, man. Let me see here. Man, I'm behind my chat here. Let me try to catch up here. Support our troops and vets. Absolutely, man. Texas size barbecue. That's what I thought because I never used paper before. Chris says Yoder. Barbecue is therapy for me. Amen to that, Thyron. Barbecue freak show. I agree with that comment, Chef Johnny. It's another tool. Rolando Super Taco. I drove by a Rolando's coming from in San Antonio, coming from the smoke shack going to the interstate. I drove by Rolando Super Taco. I saw it. Fire management is the way to go. Nothing against pellet smokers, but yeah, no. Yeah, Joe, I think, again, like Chef Johnny mentioned earlier, I think pellet smokers have their place, and it's another tool that you can use. Again, if I don't want to man my fire, I can fire up my El Rey. The flavor is not going to be anywhere near that El Rey. Oh, look at my Plecostomus, guys. You see him climbing my tank over there? Look at the size of him. He actually came out. Look at him right there. Where is he? You can see him back there? My fish tank? Look at the size of that guy. You know, that Pleco, I got him in when he was really small, guys. He was probably no more than an inch. Look at the size of him. He's the only one in the tank right now. Look at him moving around there. He must be hungry. I saw him in the background there. Let me see. Fire management. Okay. Offsets are the way to go. I have my lollipops coming out tomorrow. Oh, nice, Chef Johnny. Man, those chicken lollipops, brother. If you let butcher paper get a little oil and it will hold on to the liquid. Chef Johnny, I think that's what holds the liquid in there because the briskets are kind of fatty, especially the primes. And I think that once you set it in there, that kind of fat kind of seals the butcher paper. It's pretty neat. You know, it's like back in the day, I think I talked about this in one of my chats. Back in the day, I was a Boy Scout. And when I was a Boy Scout going to Webelow, we cooked some, oh God, what was it? It slipped my mind here. Cobbler, blueberry cobbler inside a brown paper trash bag. You know, the trash bags, or the brown, not trash bag, but the brown paper bag. And we used to line the inside with butter. And then we would pour the cake mix and all the ingredients into this brown paper bag that we used to get at grocery stores back in the day and cook our cobbler over a fire, and the paper would not burn. It was the wildest thing ever, but it works. Nice. Chef Johnny, you know, so when I was driving home from San Antonio, I think I was at 1,380 subscribers. And you came on, and I was driving. I think we were about 2 hours away from El Paso at that point. And you asked your subscribers to subscribe to my channel. Man, I'm almost at 1,500 subscribers. So I wanted to thank you for that, man. I picked up almost 120 subscribers just for you mentioning my name, man. I really appreciate you doing that, buddy. That's an unselfish act. I really appreciate that. Yes, and his truck was actually in one of my videos on my barbecue crawl from Evie Mae's Barbecue. No, Alex, I didn't notice any smoke ring difference. Both briskets were good, but definitely the fat cap up was the way to go. It was more juicier for me for some reason. Mo's Black Gold Barbecue. Appreciate that, man. That's an awesome comment, buddy. Miner's Beef Broth and Cosmos Q. Crawford's Beef Spritz and Miner's Beef Broth. I've never had that Miner's Beef Broth. Tried Cavender's Greek Seasoning. Brother Thyron, you have asked me about that. I haven't. Where do you buy that from? Because I think you said you put some of that in your tenderloins, correct? Your pork loins? Old vet, the best place, and I don't work for this company, is called Web Restaurant. Just Google Web Restaurant, and I've got I think it's like 18 or 20, no, a 24-inch roll of butcher paper that I wrap my briskets in, and it cost me $19. $19, guys, for a 24-inch roll, and I think it's 750 feet. That's a lot of butcher paper. Headed out, stay safe. All right, M&M smokers, appreciate you, man. Chris Crispy Bacon. Man, I thought that was your last name. I didn't want to butcher that. But Crispy Bacon, man, I love that name, bro. What's going on, brother? Yeah, Johnny, appreciate you, man. I don't cook brisket that often because I only have a wife and two small kids. Therefore, I don't want to buy butcher paper for the occasional brisket. Do you recommend foiling brisket? I would foil if now, here's the thing, guys. You can cook an entire brisket and not foil, not wrap it in anything. Just monitor your temperatures and don't get it excessively hot, okay? Because you will dry out and wherever your heat source is coming from, put that point towards the heat source. So if you have an offset smoker, put that point towards the firebox, or maybe get it either in the middle of your smoker or all the way on the left side. Not too far because your exhaust is usually there, and that's a hot spot too. So somewhere in the middle, but play with it, or maybe cover that point with a little bit of foil, and just let it ride, man, and you'll be fine. Just spritz it, okay? Spritz it with water if you don't want to change the flavor, or you can use beef broth, but I like to use just plain old water on my briskets. I don't like to use apple juice or anything sweet on it. But Mr. Panther, so here's the thing. Invest in a vacuum sealer, okay? That way, if you cook a brisket, you and your family, I think you said you had two kids and your wife, two small, yeah, and your wife, um, slice up your brisket and vacuum seal it, okay? Just vacuum seal it, put it in the freezer. Man, that thing's good for 2 years. Okay, that way, if you guys ever want brisket, you want a brisket sandwich, you want to make brisket tacos, or you just want to have sliced brisket, take a package out and have it for dinner. And it's kind of nice to just pull it out of your deep freezer and warm it up. It's the best stuff ever. Walmart. Mega Fred. Rock on, my friend. Mega Fred, man, he's a wild man. That man in his Miller Lite. Okay, you got your butcher paper from Amazon. Tom, so my first roll of butcher paper, it was only, I believe, 18 inches. It was actually pretty expensive, and it was kind of small. Web Restaurant Store is the cheapest place. I even got my dispenser from there. It's a metal frame that comes with a wooden, like a dowel, and you just pull the butcher paper, and it's got its cutter. You just pull it, and it cuts the paper. Man, it's the best thing ever. But yes, I think a lot of people buy that butcher paper from Amazon. I did at one point. Adrian, what's going on, man? On all of your rubs. Okay, nice, T. Bum, 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 bum. Okay, you're talking about somebody's talking about Dutch ovens. I'm caught up on my chat. Okay, Joe, use distilled water or regular tap water. Talk about changing the flavor depending where. Tom, okay, yeah. So TNT, you need to cook a brisket on a Weber. Man, I don't know that Weber that good yet. So somebody asked if I use tap water or distilled water. Um, I try to use distilled water. I've got a cooler in my kitchen with, I have that water service that comes to my house. They bring the 5 gallons of water. I hate tap water, guys. I just don't like it. And here in El Paso, it's clean water, but it still has a bunch of stuff that I don't think it'll change your food. I mean, the flavor of your food. But today, the spatchcock chickens that I did, I just got tap water and I sprayed them a little. I was only going to use a little bit of water. And the water that's in my cooler comes out super cold, so I didn't want to use that. So I just used regular tap water. Distilled for comps, yes. Uh, yeah, guys. Chris at Proud Souls Barbecue is a big competitor. He's a savage competitor. He's a buddy of mine. Love him to death. That guy can answer a lot of questions too. What brand of pellets do I use? Brother Thyron, I used B&B Mesquite, but I'm actually out. But I have a ton of bags of Pit Boss pellet, which is a competition grade pellet, and it's got mesquite and some other hardwoods in it. So that's what I'm using now. I got those on sale for like $5 for 40 pounds. Daddy Dutch, how are you, Kent? Hot up in Denver kettle cookers. Oh, hit up. Are you kidding me, bro? He cooks competition briskets inside of a kettle? That's madness. I don't know. Joe Smokehouse, I mean, you might be able to answer this question, bro, because you got that Weber Smoky Mountain. I think you have a kettle. I don't have that slow and sear. I don't have a basket. I guess if I just put my coals on one side of my Weber 22-inch kettle, could I cook a brisket on that one side? And if I do, where do I put the exhaust? On top of the brisket or on top of the? I guess it would be on top of the brisket, right? Maybe you can answer that question for me. Yeah, Chef Johnny says you have great water up there, but there's places you would not use it. Everybody's saying hello to Mr. Daddy Dutch, Kent the man, the myth, the legend, the pen flipping man. Simple yes. I don't know what they're talking about here. He's doing a double header on 3 kettles. Wow. Stephanie, how are you? The kettle cookers uses a ranch kettle. Where's the brew man? West So Texas barbecue. I'm not drinking today. I'm actually drinking just water. Meat cranium. How you doing, buddy? Guys, I'm uploading that spatchcock chicken video that I did tonight. It's loading as we speak. I just finished editing it, and man, that's some good rub. I got to tell you, I even said on the end of my video that the garlic jalapeno seasonal and then that new smoking chicken rub from Victory Lane. It's deadly. I actually sprinkled some garlic jalapeno seasonal on top of my chicken after it was cooked when I finished recording, and man, that stuff is deadly, guys, for chicken. It was really good, really really good. I had to record myself today. My daughter and my wife were out, and so I had to record myself on the camera and very little editing, if any. So it was pretty interesting. It was my first time recording myself. Let me see. Drink Jack Daniels and Honey Jack. I've never had that Honey Jack. Meathead. Kentinator. Let me see. Hey, Kent. Appreciate that, buddy. Question on the Yoder 640. Brisket fat cap up or fat cap down? Top rack or bottom rack? I'm assuming point towards the exhaust. Um, All right. So the first part, you want to, again, it all depends. Your heat source on a Yoder, if you're putting it on the bottom shelf, your heat source is right under that brisket. So if you can, on the 640, put it on that top shelf. What that's going to do, guys, is your heat is going to come around that brisket and settle on the top and come out the exhaust. So if I was doing it on a Yoder, I would cook it fat side up. If I'm doing it on the bottom shelf, I would cook it fat side down. And you get that nice crispy kind of fat on there. That's what I would do. But again, guys, who asked that question? Okay, Mr. Panther, it's a great question. Um, Again, the theory, you have to think about how those pellet smokers work. Okay, the heat source on the deflector plate is right under that bottom shelf, fat cap down. On the top shelf, you still have that heat source on the bottom, but the majority of the heat is coming from the deflector plate on the front and on the sides. Okay, so the heat is coming around this way. Okay, it's on the bottom as well, but it's coming around the deflector plate. If you open your door, you can see the flames sometimes coming out the back and the side. Well, those flames aren't going right into the brisket; they're going on top of the brisket. So, and then out the exhaust. So, if it was me, I would do it fat cap up, point side towards the exhaust. But that's another great question. Um, I need a shot of tequila from your bar. Man, come on down. Is there tequila back there? Oh yeah, I got some Patron. Oh, Stephanie. I haven't tried that. Stephanie, how dare you say that? Garlic jalapeno rub on popcorn. Oh my goodness. I'm gonna have to make some of that tonight. That sounds delicious, by the way. Oh my God, Stephanie. Do I have a discount code for Victory Lane? No. But if you order from Victory Lane Barbecue tonight only, their brand new smoking chicken rub is $6, guys. $6. That's insane. That's half price for that. So those of you guys that are in here, get you a couple of bottles. Order a couple bottles of the garlic jalapeno and a couple of bottles of the smoking chicken rub from Victory Lane Barbecue. Go to victorylanebarbecue.com. Right now, it's on sale before midnight. $6 a bottle. Make some chicken. Put a nice layer of garlic jalapeno. Put some of that smoking chicken rub on top of that. And man, that stuff is amazing, guys. It's so good. It's got a little bit of sweetness to it. Not a whole lot of heat. So that's why I put a layer of the garlic jalapeno. Oh man. Whew. But I am gonna. So I'm coming up on 1,500 subscribers, guys. So I'm gonna do a giveaway of some Victory Lane rubs, and I'm gonna see if we can't get a discount code for you guys. All right, Kent. I'm gonna do a giveaway video, man. Stay tuned for that, buddy. Thyron and I can cook those for them. Chris says top rack, cap down, point towards the exhaust. You said Joe's Smokehouse. If you was asking me about doing a brisket on the Weber kettle, then yes. Just keep the vent opposite of the meat. Okay. So Joe's Smokehouse. So you're saying put my coals on one side, put my brisket on the other side, and put the exhaust over the coals or over the brisket? I just want to clarify that. You're home now. Yes, I am home now. Just ate, my friend. Your Theo Joe is back home. I drove 2,200 miles in, let me see, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, in 5 days. Ooh, very nice meat. I actually voted for brisket on your community post, what we wanted. And by the way, Meat Cranium, I did that. Joe's Barbecue House. Oh, I'm sorry. I keep calling it Smokehouse, I think. Um, Let me see, what was I going at? Okay, so I voted in that, and I on my community post, I actually asked you guys what you guys wanted me to cook that one time, and I think I made beef fajitas. It's kind of cool to ask your subscribers on what they want to see because that's probably something they're not too comfortable cooking, so it helps them out. And you guys know my channels or my channel is about showing you guys how to barbecue. I don't skip any steps whatsoever, guys. You guys get to see it. It's not live, but I record it because I want you guys to be able to cook the way I cook. Maybe change it up if you don't like the rubs or the way how long it cooks or whatever. But I want to make sure that I show people how to barbecue. And if I make a mistake, I'm going to show it on camera. If I don't slice something the right way or something just doesn't look right, you're going to see it live. And that's just the way it is, guys. That's how we all learn together. Joe, I use one of the Weber charcoal baskets, but the exhaust over the brisket, okay? Let me see. Meat cranium. I did a mod on your mod on the Oklahoma Joe Highland. I'm gonna have to look at that. Yeah, just ate $6 for that new smoking chicken rub. Mr. Panther, my channel is small, but I love your vids. You're a likable dude, and I love your stuff. Man, that's awesome, bro. I really appreciate those kind words, man. I'm just trying, bro. I'm a small fish in a big pond. Yeah. Mega Fred, you are a savage, my friend. Um, so what you do with the jalapenos, with the movie popcorn, that is so good, right? I don't think there's anything better. And man, I don't think they're. I mean, I think they're making money because they charge you $1,000 for a bucket of popcorn. But I probably put $1,000 of jalapenos on top of that popcorn, and so they're breaking even. When I go to the movies, I get my big bucket of popcorn and put jalapenos, like you mentioned. Man, that's some good stuff. That's awesome, Mega Friend. I can see you doing that too. Oh, that is awesome. You're gonna go live tomorrow? Hey, that'd be awesome, meat. Over the brisket. Okay, Joe's Barbecue House says to put the exhaust over the brisket. Perfect. I think I might do that. I think I'm gonna have to get me that Weber basket. I know Kent did the Broens here. I don't. Does Walmart sell those basket guys? Where do I get those baskets from? Love my shirts, brother T. Appreciate you, man. Check this bad boy out. It says Pit Master. Just ate. I love every step you show on your channel. Appreciate that. Just ate. You know, guys, as I mentioned before, I used to watch this guy on YouTube, and I would watch when he went live. I watch all of his videos. I would comment everything, and I unsubscribed him because one night he was in a live chat, and I asked him a question. I asked him, "Hey, what temperature do you?" what temperature is your brisket probing at when you pull it from your smoker? And he says, he actually said, Joe, I don't answer those questions. I don't answer those kind of questions. And I was like, wow, okay. You know, I had some choice words in my mind that I didn't say. I just unsubscribed to his channel. I don't want any part of any channel that has that negative vibe, if you will, that doesn't want to share information with people. And that's why if I'm subscribed to your channel, I like what you do. I'm not going to subscribe to somebody just because they subscribe to my channel. But if I subscribe to somebody's channel, it's because I like what they do. And you know, again, I don't hide anything from you guys. I just thought that was kind of a bad move to ask to tell that to a subscriber. I don't answer those questions. That's ridiculous. That is ridiculous. You know, in fact, I will cook a brisket over a campfire versus that guy, and I guarantee you that my brisket would turn out better. And I could use nothing but newspaper, and I guarantee you that my brisket would come out better than his. I was just asking a question just to have a conversation with a guy, not to ask for his internal secrets or inside secrets. But I unsubscribed to his channel. Ba-ba-ba-bum. Sorry, guys, I went on a little rant there. Let me see. Joe Rocks. Hey, thanks, Kent. I hope so, Chef Johnny. How about giving away Veronica for 15 subscriber giveaway? You're funny, dude. You are funny. Jimmy Johnson. On next cook, ribs with a glaze made from unsalted butter, bourbon, brown sugar. Oh, man. Jimmy Johnson, that sounds good, brother. You know, the ribs that I had at this place in San Antonio, the Smoke Shack, their ribs tasted, it was a little too sweet for me. It almost tasted like a glazed donut from Krispy Kreme. Now, a Krispy Kreme tastes good, but on my ribs, I don't want anything that sweet, so I would just put a dash of vanilla in your mix, just a small little bit. Because if not, I think that you'll overpower it, and I think because that those ingredients sounds like it would taste good with the brown sugar and the butter. You add the vanilla, and I think you almost have a crispy. That might be the ingredients to Krispy Kreme's donuts, but I would just use a small dash of it, and if you like it, leave it like that. Or if you think that it could use more, again, we all have different taste buds. So, but I would start with a little bit of vanilla if you're going to try that as a glaze. But that sounds good. Jimmy Johnson, great question. Rotate the brisket 180 every hour on my Weber. Okay. Yes. So our buddy Kent. Kent, what are you guys cooking tomorrow, by the way? Kent is cooking live tomorrow on the Battle of the Kitchens. Log in and vote for Brother Kent. Ace Hardware for the baskets. Okay. I'm gonna have to check out Ace Hardware. I'll wake up early tomorrow and go see if I can find me a basket. Three or four stainless steel Weber baskets off of eBay. Very nice. Stainless steel, that won't rust, will it? Okay, Thyron says Ace Hardware as well. Jimmy Johnson, yeah, sometimes people get full of themselves. That's ridiculous, right? Joseph Savage. Yeah, John, man, I'm behind. I had a guy rip me the other day for not putting the temp I cooked my chickens at, and why did not give the rub recipe. I responded to him, look in the description box below. Oh my God. I'm sure I know the channel you're talking about. Barbecue Freak Show, which one was it, man? Which show, which channel was I watching? Let's see if we're on the same page. Joe, can I have a Captain and Morgan? Captain Morgan and Coke. Hey, I know that we're laughing about this now, but I think in the future we'll be able to pass drinks telepathically or electronically to people. I mean, if you would have told me that 30 years ago that there's going to be this cell phone device that you can walk around with a map that'll tell you where to go, that'll give you the directions, I would have called you crazy. Because back then, I think we barely had beepers, right? Look at us now, technology-wise. It's insane. Chef Johnny, that's funny, though. Rudy, are you from EPTX? I'm from Rio Grande Valley. Is that right? But living in Michigan. Oh, wow. What are you doing up there, dude? Yes, just ate. Bye, Felicia. Shrimp carbonara pasta. Oh man, dude, that sounds good. So, old vet, you got yours at Lowe's. I got a Lowe's right up the street. Will you be visiting Chicago anytime soon? Um, Not anytime soon. You're from Chicago, right? I've been in Chicago. A friend of mine, several of my friends and myself went to watch the Cowboys play the Chicago Bears up in Chicago, and I had the time of my life up there. If I was doing a low and slow brisket on a kettle, I would do the snake method. Snake method on just half of it, right? Half of the kettle. Bye, Lori. Let me see. Meat Cranium says I cooked a 16-pound brisket in 4 hours using a barbecue dragon grill stone. You know, if I've never cooked a brisket on my Weber kettle, so if I were to do one, I think I'm gonna go to Costco and get me a small prime brisket, like a 12 pounder, and give that a shot. Who was it that was rude to you, Joe? You know, I don't even remember the name of his channel. Have you tried the Santa Maria attachment for the Weber from Gabby's Grill? Stephanie, yes. That thing is amazing. I ordered it. So I bought my kettle and I cooked some fajitas on it, and those came out freaking amazing. So then I saw a post from Gabby's Grill on Instagram, and I sent him a message and I said, "Hey, I was gonna have some friends over the following week, and I said, hey, can I get the Gabby's Grill to me? I think it was on a Sunday. Can you get it to me by Thursday?" And the guy was awesome. And he says, "Absolutely, Joe. If you order it now, it was like $229, no shipping cost whatsoever." He had it at my door Thursday morning, which was amazing service, if you ask me. It was Yumi Cranium. Three-quarter of the way, just rotate your grate so you don't. Okay. Man, that would be good, Kent. Okay, so you wrap your briskets at 160, 165. Yeah, you're kind of in the ballpark of where I'm at, bro. I'm usually when I get that nice dark bark, I'm sitting at around 165, sometimes 170. Once I like that nice dark bark that I get, and it's nice and shiny, man. It's a beautiful color. And then I watch my temperature really close, and for some crazy reason, I like to pull my briskets at 201 degrees. Don't ask me why the 1 degrees, okay? It just works for me. But that temperature works fine. I'm sure if I pull it at 205, I'm going to be fine. But I try not to let it go past 205, like you said, mate. Meat Cranium, you're my hero, man. He only lets the animal come out when somebody pokes him, is what he said. Where's the contest in September, Kent? I think Proud Souls is asking that question. I use foil now. I'm ready in a. I what is okay? So Meat Cranium says, Joe's Barbecue House. It used to be foil. Now I'm really liking paper. Okay, so the Stephanie, you're very welcome. That channel what was his name? I don't know the name of the channel, but I know that he names his smokers, and in fact, that's why I'd wanted to name my smoker because he names his smokers. But I don't know. I can't remember the name of his channel. Jose Guerrero Jr., yes, I still have it. Going to be doing a slow and sear versus Grillstone. Hey, Meat, was it you that did a video where you smoked some or you seared some steaks on a stone? That was wild. I saw that and I was like, holy smokes, that's got to taste pretty damn good. No, it wasn't you, bro. It was not you. I forget the name of the guy. Okay, yeah. Meat, it was you. Yes, that's the name. That was the channel. That was it. How did you know, Jimmy Johnson? Were you on that chat when he said that? Florida man are some great cooks. Yeah, those Florida guys, man, they like cooking, smoking gators and fishing. Good, Meat. That makes two of us. And I like the guy, man. I was subscribed to his channel. Excuse my language, but I was subscribed to his channel forever. I like his stuff, but oh well. Barbecue Freak Show. Yep. Amen to that, Jimmy. And again, guys, I'll give you all of my secrets, man. The only secret that I won't give you guys is my barbecue or my glaze. Chef Johnny has a jar of that. I gave him a mason jar full of my glaze. He gave me one of his jars of his barbecue sauce. Chef Johnny, if you're still in here, is it a glaze or is it a sauce? But I gave a jar to Alton from Dogfather's Barbecue, and I gave James a jar of my glaze to give to T-Roy as well. Yes. Yes. Joe's Barbecue House. Yes, I am. I think he's in your area somewhere, isn't he? Swapping man sauce. Yeah, it is man sauce. Oh, okay. You're from Willwood. Are you really, Tyron? Meat Cranium. You live in Florida now? I don't know why you struck me as a California guy. You're making ribs tomorrow? Okay, it's a sweet and spicy chipotle sauce. Mmm. Chef Johnny, now you got my mind thinking. Making some spare ribs tomorrow. Any tips, brine or seasoning? What are you cooking that on, Wes? Jimmy Johnson is from Texas. Weber Smoky Mountain. Good choice. So, okay, wife has a lot of family in El Paso. Jimmy Johnson, if you ever come to El Paso, you look me up, buddy. We will have a little barbecue here. You strike me as a cool dude. But you know what's awesome about YouTube, guys, is like, I've never met Chef John before until, what was it, Chef? Tuesday evening, I think. And it's like we knew each other based off of our videos and communicating. We just had a I don't know, what do you call it? Electronic relationship? No, that doesn't sound right. Social media relationship, maybe. But it's like I'd known him. You know, it's kind of weird. You wouldn't do that back in the days. You know, just talk online and meet somebody like that. You know, but it's kind of weird. Our group is pretty tight knit. So you're cooking on a Weber Smoky Mountain. What rubs do you have in your cabinet? Whatever, regardless of the rubs, just yeah, there's a bond for sure. Kent said that. Top shelf it. If you're gonna put water, put water. If not, just put foil in your pan down there, and let it go for about an hour and 15 minutes. Wrap it. I like to use. I used to use honey and the brown sugar and the butter, but now I just use a Victory Lane butter bath. Let that go for about an hour or so, and then take it out of your foil. So you're at an hour and 2 hours and 15 minutes now. Let it sit in your smoker for about 15-20 minutes. Spritz it after the 10 minute mark, and then go ahead and put your glaze on the bottom and the top. Let it go for another 10 minutes. 2 hours and 45 minutes, you'll have those ribs, the best tasting ribs ever. 275 is your target temperature. 300 is fine as well. But I think that produces some damn good ribs. Or just let it go in the smoke. Let it go in the smoke for 3 hours, 3.5 hours, or until it's nice and tender, proven tender. You love your freedom if I. Oh, shit. You know, I see it now, Meat. Now that you mentioned it, that you're in Florida. That's awesome, dude. Honey jalapeno barbecue sauce. Kent, that sounds good. You know, the Victory Lane spicy barbecue sauce is spicy, and it's got a good flavor, man. Might be too spicy for a lot of people, but to me it was really good. Joe's Barbecue House. Love your liquor stash. This liquor stash or this liquor stash? I think it's a foodie thing because food really gets brothers and sisters together. Amen to that, Just Date. Man, if you're ever driving by El Paso, Just Date, on vacation or whatever, you need to look me up. Come over to your Theo's house. Joe's Barbecue House. Another donation. Man, you're awesome, Joe. You don't have to do that, man, but I appreciate you, brother. Again, guys, go subscribe to Joe's Barbecue House. That guy is a beast on his smokers. He's got a video where I think it was right before Super Bowl. He cooked something. I know it was over 100 pounds of food in a Weber Smoky Mountain. Somebody was talking about Weber Smoky Mountain cooking the ribs. Whoever that was, subscribe to Joe's Barbecue House and check out what he does with his Weber Smoky Mountain. I mean, he had food all over the place. It was over 100 pounds, and everything came out freaking amazing. I think that's the first video I saw of his, and I fell in love with his channel, so I hit that subscribe button. Because it's hard to find people that cook barbecue the way you do. Maybe not exactly the way that you do, but that have that it factor, and it's hard to explain that it factor. It really is. But I think that there's several of people that I follow on YouTube, this YouTube world, that have the same passion for barbecue as I do. Or if you're a foodie, if I like you, if I like your personality, I'm subscribed to your channel. That's awesome. But thank you again, Joe's Barbecue House. Just ate. Jimmy Johnson, you're funny, dude. Yeah, he's a good dude, Meat, for sure, man. That would be good on chips as a dip. Ooh, yeah. Whenever I get a vacation, Make time to come on vacation. I'd love to meet you and your husband. How far am I from Texas Motor Speedway? Texas Motor Speedway is in what, Houston or Fort Worth? Whatever that is, I'm probably 10, 11 hours away from there. Oh, nice. Byron? Daddy Dutch, he is a genius. He is a freaking genius. Seriously. So, guys, what was your first job ever? Be honest. So, my first job was when I was in middle school. And there used to be this German lady that lived down the block from us. And there used to be this small newspaper. It was kind of a community newspaper that they called the Sun Shopper. And in that Sun Shopper, people would post things for sale. This was before internet and before all these sites where you can buy stuff. So the Sun Shopper, if I was selling a bicycle, I could post it on there. So I used to roll them up and put them in on people's doors. And I didn't get paid much, but that was my first job. And the lady's name was Miss Mercer, German lady, and she was really nice. She was a sweetheart. But that was my first job. I think I'd get like maybe $15 a week back then, which was pretty freaking awesome. Let's see. Let me see some of these comments here. Okay, so Kent. Oh, okay. Rudy Salinas picking blueberries. How many of those blueberries made it into the basket? Kent was cutting ham and beef on a buffet line. That's cool. Chef Johnny, look at his first job. First job was hauling pipe out in the peanut fields. I've never seen a peanut field before. That's cool, Chef Johnny. Mr. Panther, you were a janitor for a basketball training facility. That way I could practice baseball for free. Stephanie, you worked at Burger King when you were 16 years old at 325. Your husband worked at Chuck E. Cheese as the rat. That's cool. That's a cool little story. Let me see. I'm going to go. I have a busy day tomorrow. Video premiere, brisket. Prepare a live Kentonator kick-ass tomorrow, brother. Amen. Meet Cranium, thanks for coming on, brother. Good chatting with you electronically. Have a good night, brother. We'll look out for your stuff tomorrow. Guys, sub to his channel. He's an awesome dude. Let me see. 623 miles from Joe's to Texas Motor Speedway. Yeah, that's a long ways, guys. Jimmy Johnson filled 1 gallon muriatic acid jug for a swimming pool store in Largo, Florida at age 13 for $2.25 an hour after getting a work permit. Wow. Yeah, Chris at Proud Souls Barbecue, an infantryman. Thanks for your service, buddy. Really appreciate that, man. You know how I feel about you, brother. Big Lee's Barbecue in Ocala, Florida. Milking cows and baling hay. Man, there's a countryman for you. So at what age did you join the Navy, old vet? Modeling. Wow. When you were a kid. What? You lived in Japan just 8? My real job was at 18 in the kitchen cafeteria at your community college. Oh, that's cool. Judy Ann, a model when she was a kid in Japan. Look at you. Ciao, y'all. Later, meet. Korea, 1996. Ooh, man. 1996. Picking watermelons, T&T. Cool, man. These are cool little first jobs, guys. Oh, that's awesome. That'd be cool, Kent. We'll have to plan it, man. Got to get back to work. Thanks for the conversation and laughs. It's 7 a.m. here in Iraq. Awesome, Jimmy Johnson. Take care of yourself out there, buddy. I had to water those peanuts. There were 3 of us, and we got $9 a line and hauled 6 lines a day. So we split it 3. Wow. You split it 3 ways and got $18 a day. Holy smoke, Chef Johnny. Talk about work. My job made you want to get an education, Tyron. No joke, right? See you later, Stephanie. Thanks for getting on. All right, guys, I've been going for over an hour now, and I got to go load my video. Oh, wow. That's a cool little story just ate. Kent, you're a savage, man. Leave Chef Johnny alone. Kent says $18 a day was great pay back in the 40s. LOL. $18 a day. Wasn't the Model T? Didn't the Model T cost $18, Kent? That is hilarious, dude. I would love to stick around, but have to help mom move on the AM. Thanks, Joe's Barbecue House. I really appreciate the super chats again, man. 17, had 18 in boot camp. Awesome, man. Thanks for your service. No, we need more barbecue talk. I got to go upload my video, man. I got to put this chicken away that I cooked. Hobo, how are you, buddy? As Johnny, I'm not that old. Oh, man, that is hilarious, dude. Hobo Nichols, yeah, man, I'm about to get off, buddy, man. I've been on for an hour and 18 minutes now. Dutch, it was in the early 70s, and I was about 12 or 13. I was born in the early 70s. 1973. Hobo Nichols is in the house. But guys, I'm going to go ahead and get off. Everybody's saying hi to Hobo. Crazy Monkey, hey there. Yeah, man, Crazy Monkey, appreciate you, man. Thanks for all the comments, buddy. Had me a hobo moment. Oh, man. All right, guys, you guys have a good night, man. We'll talk at you. Look out for my spatchcock chicken video. It will be my channel when you wake up tomorrow morning, or if you're staying up late, give me about 30 minutes and it'll be uploaded on my channel. So now time for a hangout. Chef Johnny, you're hilarious, my man. You are hilarious. But you guys have a good night. Thanks for jumping on with me, guys. Good chatting with you guys. We'll catch you guys later. Good night, guys.